Today, year one of the Rams franchise rebuild is gonna come to an end because today we're gonna finish the regular season and we are not a playoff team by any stretch of the imagination. But we are coming off a really nice win against the Browns, who were 8-3 coming in, and we have dropped them to 8-4 thanks to 40 points from the offense and a second half shutout from this Rams defense. This was an awesome game. Stetson Bennett, making his first start of his career, got hurt, missed about half the game, and still played lights out. Matt Stafford came in, played lights out as well in place of the injured Bennett. But one half of a game that is a good game for Stafford is not enough to keep Stet out of the starting job, and Stet is healthy, so he is the starter for the rest of the year, barring an injury. Quick side note, if you enjoy this video and want to see more, please like and subscribe. It goes a long way. And one thing I did before this episode was I went through the top 32 prospects, so the guys who are apparently supposed to go in the first round. I looked through them, and then I looked through a couple of other positions briefly, and then I added some to my favorites list. So right now we have about 28 players on the favorites list on our draft board. It's mostly in order, but not exactly. But I think for the first, 20 or so guys, it is in order of where they are projected to be taken. So we'll go through this list, all 28 guys, at the end of the episode. So stay tuned for that. But I will say, I really like these top three guys up here. Darius Richards at corner, George Johnson at quarterback, and Mark Houghton at left tackle. So off this Browns game, we are 3-9, and we have a couple of games until Week 18 against San Francisco, which I want to watch that game because those games are almost always fun. We got 4 games to sim until then, so let's get right down to it and check those box scores out and see what's going on in the last stage of this year one rebuild. But first, we have a trench boost. Your team was able to throw at will in your last win. That is a fact. We saw it firsthand. Okay. Excited about that. The amount of sacks you allow against the Ravens will determine how much XP each offensive lineman earns. So, gonna have to check the box score for that. Hopefully we allow none, because that could be a big amount of XP, I think. Got another one for playing spoiler, because the Ravens are also as good as the Browns. Both teams are 8-4 over in the AFC North. So we're just doing the same spoiler thing as on with the Browns. So just got to beat the Ravens for a big boost to our roster. Upgrade point here for Ernest Brown, who is that star dev player who had a big upgrade earlier this year. Let's continue to pound away at the power moves, because that is the scheme fit. So really his role as the primary left end right now is to be a power rusher. So yeah. And unfortunately, the Ravens do bring us back down to earth, taking us down by 8 points. All 20 of ours came in the second half, and by that point it's hard to come back from being down by 2 touchdowns, especially without even scoring in the first half. Looks like Lamar Jackson, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Did not get to him at all. Stetson Bennett, 251 through the air, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Sacked twice. So we'll see how much that affects how much XP the team earns. But yeah, 61% completion percentage compared to 76 for Lamar. Yeah, there's a big difference there in the pass protection. And also just the skill of the quarterbacks. Looks like the Ravens ran the ball pretty well for how many carries they had. Our ground game could not get going. Robinson, 2.7 per carry, did score, but it's not good enough. Kupp, 82, no touchdowns. OBJ had 1. Nakua, 52. Van Jefferson had the lone touchdown for us. Now, why is this reporter saying that we didn't allow a sack? That's a glitch. We just got 10k XP for no reason. I mean, I guess you take it, right? We've only had one upgrade point all year long for Steve Avila, so this will definitely help him out. And Kevin Dotson, hopefully, too. Okay, so we have a lot of upgrade points for the offensive line and other players. I will show the most important ones, but probably not going to care about Noteboom or Brian Allen because I don't foresee us keeping either of these guys. I'll probably look to move one or both of them. And then for the backups, I think it's worth showing those because I might want to bring some of those guys back. And I'll go over some of the negotiation decisions on the extensions here in a moment. But for Warren McClendon, what can we focus on here? We got 3 upgrade points to spend. He's a 65 overall, and it looks like we could really work on the run blocking in general, but also pass block finesse could use some work. Unfortunately, you can't just hammer away at run blocking. You can only do it for pass blocking or power and agile. So because we are an agile scheme fit, I'm going to do finesse, even though the run block finesse is fine. But hopefully this helps run block and other areas too. +1 pass block and 3 pass block finesse. We'll do it again. And we get awareness, lead block, pass block finesse, run block finesse. Then the last one, we get pass block finesse and run block finesse +2. McClendon, by the way, is also a rookie, just so you guys know. Ankrum here is a 4th-year player, and he could get better in every single area. So I think the power is too far gone to fix, so we're going to focus on agile instead. And just hammer away at that. Awareness, pass block, finesse, run block. Then we get awareness, lead block, pass block, finesse, run block, finesse. And finally, we get more of the same and some strength too. For Avila, our starting rookie, I think I still want to hammer away at the finesse. I think that still needs the most work out of anything. So trying to get him into his scheme fit might take a bit more time though, and he's only 1 game away probably from his next upgrade point. So we should be getting a 3rd one next week. But we get a lot of things here, and he's just getting better and better. AJ Jackson, 3rd-year lineman. Let's do more finesse. I think I might just do finesse for all of these guys because a lot of these guys need the finesse to be better because they don't even match our scheme. How did they allow this to happen? McVay, come on, man. We got one for Kevin Dotson, I think, for him. The finesse is fine. The run block power is not very good. But again, he's a right guard. We are an agile scheme fit. It's important for these guys to be part of the scheme. So until they're there, I don't expect the offensive line to be up to speed. And we do have 20 players available to have their contracts extended. But for the guys that don't have a lot of interest, except for a guy like Kevin Dotson, I think I'm good to let Van Jefferson test. Totally cool with that. Higbee, I might want to bring back, but I at least want to see what the tight end options are on the open market. Even though I think he is a good fit for the team, I still want to see what's available because he is 30 years old. James Robinson, we're going to let him test, but I am very intrigued to bring him back as a backup option for sure. Demarcus Robinson, we're going to let hit. We're definitely going to let Witherspoon hit as well. Duke Shelley, I actually do want to bring Shelley back. I think he's one of those younger players that you can look to be solid depth going forward. And then for Josh Johnson, or John Johnson rather, I think I do want to bring him back. I think he's made some nice plays. He had, 1 or 2 missed tackles that ended up resulting in a touchdown, but for the most part, he's made more good plays than bad. I don't think he's really asking for like a massive cap hit by any means. I'm going to offer a little bit lower than what he wants. And he thinks it's a pretty low offer. So we're going to have to re-offer that one. For Fuller, he wants to re-sign 2 years, total of $7 million. Not opposed. He got 67 tackles this year, 2 picks, 3 tackles for loss, 5 deflections. I don't think I've noticed him be like a huge problem in pass coverage. So I think I'm comfortable offering him the base still here and seeing what he says. And he wants to stick around. So Fuller's back for another year. I do want to bring back Kevin Dotson. I don't know how much I want to give him, though. I'll offer a little bit more than the initial one, and he accepts. Didn't take that much money. But let's keep going. Henderson, definitely thinking about bringing him back as well, like Robinson, but needs to be it for the right money and for the right role. Michael Hogg, I think he's been more impressive than his overall says. So even though I don't know how to say his name right, I'm going to bring him back. And even if he's not the starter next year, he's at least very good depth for us to put out there. AJ Jackson, only 25 years old. We just used some upgrade points on him. I think at 68 overall, he's pretty decent depth. And did he accept that? No, he did not. But he still wants to negotiate. For Zachary Thomas, 25 years old, 66 overall. Not a whole lot of interest here. I think I'm going to look elsewhere for a backup right guard. For Nathan Shepard, that was simply to fill a hole. Laryl Murchison, I haven't noticed this guy at all on the field or in the box scores. I think I'm interested in looking elsewhere. Ronnie Rivers hasn't gotten any playing time, and I think we could definitely get better depth at running back because he wasn't really utilized at all. And Roseboom here, he really only got playing time because we are just so thin at linebacker. So I definitely want to look for better depth. Jonah Williams, I feel a similar way. I think he was the best option in a bad bunch. For Ankrum, I think he's not good enough to be at the level of depth that I'm looking for the offensive line. And for Brett Maher, I think he's had a pretty good year, has he not? Let's check his stats. Maybe not actually. 13 for 18, 72% field goal percentage, long of 57. He's only missed one PAT. We've definitely seen a couple of really bad field goals, but I think we're going to look in a different direction. I think he's reliable enough to stick around. Otherwise, we can continue negotiations for some of these guys later on in the season. And we lost again after a really strong start. The first half, we had 21 points, 3 touchdowns, then only 8 in the second half, which came on a single possession in the fourth quarter. We allowed 22 in the third quarter, and we allowed just below 40 overall. This was a bad game on both sides of the ball for us, especially in that second half. We picked off Howell twice, but still allowed 4 touchdowns, less than 200 yards, but you allow 4 scores. I don't think it matters that much how many yards you allow, right? Bennett, 3 touchdown day, but also a 4-pick day. Shades of Matt Stafford two episodes back when I decided to bench him because of that game. So that's not good, and he only went 15 for 30. So I imagine it's a mix of the lack of protection, but also Stetson. I didn't think that he was going to be a good starting level quarterback, but I at least thought that he could get you better days than Stafford, which I think has been true the last couple of games for sure. Looks like the ground game for Washington was pretty good. 3.9 per carry for B-Rob. Then for Gibson, 4.7 on the ground, and we only averaged about 3 yards a carry, so we didn't do anything there. Cooper Kupp had a massive day, so did Nakua. Kupp with 177 in his score, Nakua with 2 touchdowns. O.J. Howard had 3. Come on. Then on defense, we had a sack from Aaron Donald, but for nobody else. And John Johnson got a pick, and so did Fuller. So the 2 guys that are about to get extended or already have had picks in this game. Good for them. And Maher is going to add another miss to his yearly total. Upgrade point for Nakua here, and I think for him, I want to focus on the route running. I think that's where he could really use some more work, especially on the release and deep route. So I believe deep threat helps out both of those. So we're going to do deep threat here and see what kind of attributes we get. We got awareness, catching traffic, deep route, and release. So just what I'm looking for. Perfect. And we do have that next point for Steve Avila, and we're going to keep hammering away at the finesse, like always. And then finally, Stetson Bennett, who's only a 62 overall, so you can't really expect a whole lot from this guy. But I think where he could use some work is just the accuracies, especially the medium one. That one stands out massively. The awareness is super low. Throwing under pressure is not very high. So I think I'm just going to go with Field General. Just get those accuracies better. And get him to a team archetype, or team scheme fit, rather. We're just going to offer John Johnson here the base neutral offer, and he accepts that one. So the low ball was not going to get picked up, but he likes that one instead. And the last guy for negotiations is AJ Jackson. So stick with the other guy. We're going to go with the neutral offer here, see what he says. And he says that he could find a better offer. We just beat the Saints, and Stetson Bennett just got 10k XP. This could be big for him. So we do move to 4-11 with this 3-point win against the Saints. And it was thanks to just constant scoring. After that first quarter, we put together a good drive in each of the last three, and we won 21-18 thanks to a solid day from our defense. With quarterbacks at pretty similar days, although Carr had 2 touchdowns, Bennett had none. Otherwise, they were nearly identical stat lines. Then James Robinson, 2 touchdowns on the ground, although only 3.2 per carry. Couldn't really get anything going. Henderson had the other score for us. Receiving-wise, Michael Thomas had a huge day. Akua 78, Kupp only 47. And I haven't seen sacks these last couple of weeks for Byron Young. So that is concerning for his production, but I think he still has already produced well enough to be happy about a full season's worth of time. But a nice win against the Saints that does put us to 4-11 with 5 other teams. And we right now have the tiebreaker over all of them for the best 4-win teams. So we currently have pick 6 in the mock drafts, and there are 5 other teams ahead of us. Unfortunately, 10k XP is not going to go very far, as you only get 2 skill points for it. But I think you just plug these into the Field General archetype, and you just rock with that. Get those accuracies up to a really high level, or at least to a better level than currently. And that's the way to go. And one last thing here, if AJ Jackson decides to decline this offer, I'm just going to look elsewhere. I'm not going to try and go crazy with this. I'll up it by a little bit. And he's going to test. You know what? Good goddamn riddance then. Yeah, we just got absolutely smoked by the Giants. We allowed 40 points. This defense has good days, then they'll have some really bad ones. We have seen some very interesting things going on. But Bennett had one of his best days, especially since his first start. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, a 115 passer rating, which is a very high number. 213 through the air. He played better than Danny Dimes, who only had 184 and then a touchdown and a pick and only like an 83 passer rating. So good to see Bennett outplaying a well-known veteran quarterback. But then Saquon Barkley tore this defense a new asshole. A $184 and 3 touchdowns, 10.2 per carry. How does this happen to us? And how did Matt Breida average 2.6? Do they just have like no offensive line, but Barkley's just like a god? Come on, man. Receiving-wise, Darren Waller led the game in receiving yards. And then Demarcus Robinson ends up with a 62-yard, 1-touchdown game to lead the Rams. Kupp has definitely dropped off in production the last couple of weeks, but he still grabs a score here. Hunter Long had a 26-yard grab for a touchdown too. And on defense, no sacks for your Rams. And our pick came from Kobe Durant. Upgrade point for rookie Byron Young, who I don't think has had a single sack in simming so far today. So it has gone like 4 to 5 weeks without one after 2 sacks in our last episode. But I think I'm going to continue to hammer away at the power moves because where he's playing, that is the scheme fit. So he just has to be a good power rusher, and he will fit in this team scheme very well. And it's now week 18, which means that this marks the last game of the season. We are 4-12. As of right now, with 1 week left, we are the worst team now. There's only one other team that's 4-12, and that's the Bears, and we are behind them because of whatever tiebreaker it is. I forget what the tiebreaker is, but they have it over us. So we have the first overall pick as of right now. I'm not saying I want to lose this game, but I'm saying it's likely, and it could help us out. So here we go in Levi's Stadium, taking on a fierce rival in the San Francisco 49ers. We are here in San Francisco as we take on the 49ers on the road to end the season at Levi's Stadium. Cooper Kupp, even after missing the first 4 weeks, is putting up over 1,200 yards this season. The Niners have another big playmaker in Christian McCaffrey. They've also got Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. On the other side of the ball, they got Nick Bosa. They've got some absolute studs on this team. We do too, just not as many. Let's find out how the last game of the season goes. Are we in line for the first overall pick? Who knows? But they have a thing to fight for. If they win this game, they have a good shot at securing the second overall seed in the playoffs instead of the third seed. So both teams have, well, they have more to play for than we do. We don't have a lot to play for, except just pride. But here we go as week 18 kicks off in Levi's Stadium. The Rams will start with the ball. Turn man comes out, but does not get across the 20 route about the 18-yard line. So here comes Stetson Bennett. We saw a high-flying offense last time we saw him on the field. Let's see if it happens again. 10 touchdowns, 6 picks coming in, over 1,100 passing yards. I think those are better numbers than Stafford had through how many games he had before he got benched. So I like those. Handoff here for Robinson, making a man miss on the first play, but only getting 3. Shotgun for Bennett. Has some time, and he finds Kupp wide open. That's a first down. Outside handoff. Robinson breaks a tackle and fights for 9. Oh, they're going to say 10 and a first down. I'll take it. That one moves the chains. Another give. Robinson, even more space. That's actually Kentrell Williams. 8 on his first carry. So good to see our ground game getting off to a good start, because one of the biggest trends I've seen all year long is that we have had, 2 good running games the entire season, as Robinson is going to break off one inside the 40 here. Our strong start continues. But it really hasn't been good all year long. We've had a maximum of 2 to 3 games where you've actually put together good running days. So that is one thing to focus on in the offseason, which is also going to be a big thing in regards to the offensive linemen that we're going to look at, not only as starters, but also as the backup offensive linemen, because we've seen guys get hurt all year long. Like Rob Havenstein. Noteboom got hurt several times in one game. As Bennett gets tackled here and got the pass away. Incomplete. That's Eric Armstead out there with the pressure. 3rd and 5 inside the Niners' 33-yard line. Trying to keep this drive going. Stetson. What? Jefferson just dropped that. There was no contact made. Are you serious? Yeah, you're off the team, pal. No contract for you. Thank God I did not extend this guy. Holy crap, that's embarrassing. The field goal is up, and it's good for Maher, who's also not coming back next year. Here comes Brock Purdy. The Niners offense. 26 passing TDs so far with 1 week to go for Purdy. But he's got the best running back in the entire game, CMC, in his backfield. And he'll get the carry, but he'll try and go the other way, but that was a bad idea. And Rosaboom tracks him down for a loss of 1. Purdy drops back, has to dump it off for McCaffrey. He can't break the tackle. He's brought down by Michael Hawkt. Another drop back. Purdy, another dump off, but it's out of bounds this time, and the Niners have a man down. So San Fran goes 3 and out to start their day. That's good news for us. We take over on the 28-yard line. And off for Nakua. No gain. Nice tackle there by Hufanga, who's been a really good defender since he came into the league. And by the way, I just checked it. It's pronounced Hoyt. Michael Hoyt. Good to know. I'm tired of saying it incorrectly. That one should have been picked by Hufanga. That was close. Underthrown ball. Trying to go way deep downfield. And that brings up 3rd and long. Bennett to throw. He's pressured by Bosa and just throws it away. And we go 3 and outs. 1 for 5 through the air for Bennett. The second drive for San Fran starts on the 32. McCaffrey gets to give for 3. Sticking to the ground game here. McCaffrey finds a hole and breaks it outside. Makes the man miss and he gets taken down, but not before crossing into the Rams territory. That was Jordan Fuller, who got completely taken out and put on skates by CMC. But now Donald wraps him up in the backfield for a loss of 4. Aaron Donald, just when you think he hasn't had much of an impact, will come out and give you what you're looking for. Empty backfield for Purdy now on 2nd and very long. Donald in the zone, but Purdy's got time, and this one's broken up. Trying to go deep for McCaffrey. That's Akel Witherspoon in coverage. 14 yards to gain. Purdy steps up in the pocket, launches downfield, and it's intercepted by the Rams. That is Shelley. Let's go. Duke Shelley, who just got a contract extension, makes the play off a bad idea from Purdy, trying to locate Deebo Samuel. Double coverage. Easy grab. We start our next drive inside the 10. It was pretty much an arm punt by Purdy, all things considered, so not all that big of a deal, as Higbee is a bit shaken up on this play after a catch for 8 yards. He seems pretty upset on the sideline. Talking with Aaron Donald. But short yardage to gain. Let's convert this. Outside handoff. Robinson is met, but he's got the first, and now Cooper Kupp is hurt. 1st and 10. Pressure from Bosa. Dumped off and incomplete. Back to pass again. Bennett pressured. He'll throw it away. Lots of pressure from this defensive line. Can we get a good pass off? Bennett dismissed a wide open man up the seam. That was Jefferson. Just a foot or two out of reach. But if he catches that one's gone for a touchdown, man. Empty backfield here for Purdy. 1st and long. Caught. Ayuk, his first grab of the day. That goes for 5 yards. Another carry here. McCaffrey gets across for a 1st down. Now in Los Angeles territory. Another handoff. McCaffrey wiggles his way for 3. Another one on the ground. McCaffrey chugging ahead. Another 1st down, moving the chains. Fresh set of downs as they inch closer and closer to the red zone. Purdy. Pressure coming from Young. Gets it away, but nobody's in the area. 2nd and long. Going for the end zone. It's incomplete. Witherspoon in coverage. Way to knock that one away. Big play right here, trying to hold them to a field goal. 3rd and long. Purdy escapes the pockets. Pressure, he'll just throw it away. This defense starting off pretty damn strong. The quarter ends 3-0, but they're about to tie it up. All right, start of the second quarter. All tied at 3 now. After that, field goal by the Niners. As our ground game continues to play well, Kentrell Williams goes for 8 more. Two yards to go. Trying to move the sticks. We go play action. And we find Nakua for a first down. Just a yard shy of midfield. Gonna hand it off. Robinson's got a hole. And now we're in Niners territory. Another handoff. And Williams fights for the first down. Great job. He and Robinson both have done a great job fighting for more yards after contact. And also just the offensive line has done a great job early on. Another carry for Robinson. He's got 7 so far. I don't see why those numbers would slow down anytime soon. Might as well keep feeding these guys if they're going to keep getting 6-7 yards a carry. More for Robinson, and that will move the chains as well. 8 carries for 54 yards. First down. Robinson breaks a couple and fights for a gain of 9. But 2 broken tackles on that 1 carry alone. That's what I'm talking about, man. Being tough out here. We really want to bring, at the very least, him back. We still have Williams on contract, but I do want to bring Robinson back. He breaks one off, fighting into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Look at this hard-nosed, smash-mouth football by the Rams. Bosa missed a dive. We broke a tackle on the edge of the end zone, and Robinson fights in. Beautiful touchdown drive by this ground game, man. Him and Williams put together a nice one. And the Rams take a 7-point lead on San Francisco. Hand off for McCaffrey to start this next drive for San Francisco. We'll get 9 this time around. Shockingly enough, their ground game has not been as good as ours. You would think the exact opposite, but it has not been the case so far. But let's not try and speed that into existence by any means. As Kittle breaks a tackle and fights his way across midfield. Start the next set of downs. Play action. Purdy downfield for Ayuk. Inside the Rams 30. Another play action. Purdy downfield again. This time it's Debo inside the 5. Now it's the Niners knocking on the door. Trying to respond quickly with a touchdown drive of their own. And it's looking like they're about to punch this one in probably. Debo and Ayuk out left. Play action. No, it's a give. They just did an RPO with Purdy. And they've tied the game. What a drive by Kyle Shanahan. Over 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns this year for Robinson. He really has been productive, I think, in the backfield. I think those are really solid numbers for a guy that you signed as a free agent after trading Cam Akers away. He's having a great day today. One of his better ones this entire season. 2nd and 10. Stetson, quick pass to Kupp, who's back out there after getting hurt earlier in the game. But a short gain brings up 3rd and long. Let's do our best to avoid a 3-and-out here, fellas. Don't want to get the ball back to this hot Niners team. Bennett pressured, and he'll throw it away. Just 4 for 12 through the air. Can't find much besides the ground game, and we did not go to it this time. There's a flag on the punt. They roughed the kicker. That's a first down, Rams. We're going to set up shop. This drive's not over. We get all the way up towards the 40. So we stay out there. And now, pretty much a new drive. Huge block right there. Who is that? Number 73 just absolutely planted somebody. You have a wide open hole for James Robinson. I think 73 is... It's not Brian Allen. I think it's... And I forget. But another big hole. We are absolutely feasting on this defensive line. They've been good in terms of, pass pressures, but the run defense has been absolutely horrific. Out of the 2-minute warning. On the 35, Bennett off the mark for Higbee, who's no longer hurt. That was just a bad throw. 2nd and 10. Going to have to rely on the passing game more to end this half, you would imagine. We're going to go to it. We get Kupp out wide, and he gets a gain of 6. That brings up 3rd and 4. Trying to avoid selling for a field goal. This one's caught by Kupp at the 20. That'll move the sticks. Now we can focus on trying to milk this clock a little bit. Not allow them to have a chance to score before halftime. Bennett pressured from behind. He's going to throw it away instead of trying to run for a first down. He did have space. Probably could have gotten pretty far. And drop back again. It's a screen pass. It's going to work, actually. But Robinson's wrapped up after 6 yards. 4 yards to gain. 14 yards for a score. What do we go for here? Over the middle. Crosser. Kupp can't hang on. A big hit right there by Fred Warner. And that's going to make us settle for a field goal, is it not? Yes, it is. Maher comes out. And the field goal is up. And good. The Rams hang on to their lead. Start the drive. Play action for Purdy. That's Kittle coming back to it. Pressure on a screen play, and that one goes nowhere. It's Bobby Brown with the pressure. Good job. Oh, they're going to have some adjustment here. A little audible from Purdy. Trips bottom of your screen. Purdy finds... It's Jennings for the first down. 41 seconds to go in the half. They just used their first timeout. That was Juwan Jennings. Play action again. Purdy downfield. Caught in traffic. Jennings, 2 catches straight. And they use their second. Just outside the 40-yard line. Purdy on the move. Finds Jennings. Kind of a cross-body throw to some extent. This drive continues, but not a whole lot of time left. Only 1 timeout. They got to go fast. Purdy, you got to hike the ball here. They're just going to milk the clock. They don't run a play. And here comes the field goal unit. This is Moore, the kicker. Out here for a long one. It's up and it's through. And we're all tied at halftime. 13 points apiece. We get to halftime. 36 snaps for us, 27 for them. I mean, I think so far we have been the better team, to be quite honest with you, on both ends. But appreciate that. But what about the rest of the entire league? It looks like at halftime over in Arizona, Seattle leads them 17-7. Those two teams are going to have draft picks in the top half. 90 yards for Metcalf at halftime. Then over in Louisiana, Atlanta visiting New Orleans. Atlanta's 24-3. Ritter's popping off. They beat the Saints 28-7. 3 touchdowns for Ritter. 12 for 18. Bijan Robinson had 108 on 12 carries. And over across the country, in Los Angeles, over in our stadium, Herbert, 2 touchdowns, but behind by 6 at the break between 2 11-5 teams. So here we go. Start of this third quarter, and in that first half, really the story of the game was the Rams would score first, and then the Niners would just simply respond. We hit a field goal, they hit a field goal. We score a touchdown, they score a touchdown. We hit a field goal, they hit a field goal. On the drive directly after ours, they would score and tie things up again. But now they start with the ball and a chance, their first chance really to go up ahead. But a short throw here. Going to Jennings for 4. 3rd and 6 coming up. Can this defense force a 3 and out? Purdy, quick throw, caught by Ayuk, and he's wrapped up well short. And we are going to get the ball without allowing a score. Good job by this Rams defense. All right, our first drive of the half. We start with the handoff. Robinson trying to break a tackle, but this time there are 2 defenders there. Play action this time. And now he goes down. That's Jackson taken down. Bennett for the first sack of the day. We go empty backfield. Bennett's got to convert a 3rd and 14. He's got time. Good coverage. And Kupp's wide open for a first down. Great online throw as we move the ball into Niners territory. 10 yards to go. Up the middle. A run for Kentrell Williams, which goes for 7. Why do I keep saying Kentrell? It's Kyron. This time it's Robinson, though, on the ground. He will get a first down. So we're not slowing down here. I love seeing that. Let's just milk this clock. If this ground game is going to work, and they don't want to get up ahead in terms of the score, then the ground game is going to be key to winning this game. To the outside, Robinson hit down after a short game, but a $121 already on 16 carries. And Williams is also having a pretty good day for what he's been given. You go 4 wide here. It's a screen pass. This is caught. Somebody just got decked for San Fran. Couldn't tell who it was, but we get 7 yards that time, and that'll bring up 3rd and short. The handoff. Robinson's got it. Eric Armstead now down and hurt. Just keep running this ball down their mouth to the outside. Robinson wrapped up. There is a flag, though, and they might get them for a face mask. Oh, it's a holding penalty on us. That was a late call. That was like while he was being tackled is when that flag came up. That'll back us up by 8, back to the 28-yard line. So the first down wiped off, and now Robinson gets nothing. Still 18 to go, and Robinson's got a huge hole. He fights, and he gets down with 1 yard shy. A 17-yard run that was gifted to him by this offensive line, which has done a fantastic job throughout this game. And this long drive continues. Already 5 minutes off the clock here. Robinson up the gut for another first down. Up inside the 5. They don't have any answer right now on the ground. Robinson spins out of a tackle in for another one. James Robinson. I gotta bring this guy back now, man. After what he's showing off today, are you kidding me? Against a great Niners defense. This is the exact opposite of what I thought was going to happen. I thought we would be throwing the ball downfield, not running it into this defense. But we are just having no issues so far. Robinson, what a day. The Niners get the ball back on their 25-yard line to start their next drive, but they're going backwards. McCaffrey wrapped up for a loss by Roseboom. They have yet to even lead this game, but we've seen them answer back to our scores so far. But to do it again here, they have to convert it 3rd and 9. Trying to avoid going 3 and out on their first 2 drives of the quarter. We took like 6 minutes off the clock, so they don't really have a whole lot of time, but they will complete it upfield to Deebo Samuel up to their own 46. Delayed handoff. McCaffrey, though, swallowed up from behind. Ernest Brown on the tackle. Aaron Donald also in there. Empty backfield here on 2nd and long. Purdy. Moving. Cross body. Way offline. Not sure who he was trying to go to there. Another 3rd and 9. And this defense get off the field again. Purdy throws it on the move downfield. He's got a man, but he underthrew it. Trying to find Jennings, who had 2 of our deep defenders beat, but Witherspoon ends up batting it down. Another underthrown ball by Purdy. Could have been his 2nd pick of the day on the same kind of a throw. But we do force the punt. And we're out of bounds at the 12. Where our next drive will start. James Robinson going back out to put together another big drive, I hope. 1st and 10. Robinson at another hole. He's got a big one! Even bigger than last time! He's tackled across the 40 in San Fran territory. And now he's got 203. Can you believe what you're seeing against this great Niners defense? This offensive line is creating hole after hole. And Robinson and Kyron Williams have both broken many, many tackles too. It's not just the offensive line, it's the running backs as well. Completely controlling the pace of this game as Kupp slips by a defender, but only gets 1. Just keep running this ball up the middle, man. 9 yards to go. Williams finds a crease. Another 1st down. He breaks a couple more tackles and falls ahead after a gain of like 12. Fresh set of downs. Bennett steps up. He's taken off. He falls ahead for a gain of 8. Way to, dive or slide that time so as to not, get crushed and lose the ball. But we are now in the red zone. 2nd and shorts. Handoff to the left side, and that's a 1st down for Robinson. Another give, but Robinson's wrapped up for a loss this time. Might be the first tackle for loss they've had all day. 2nd and 12 from the 17. Bennett steps up, finds Kupp, and he will waltz in untouched. Touchdown, Rams. And we lead by 13 points, PAT pending. Can you believe what you're seeing here? So out come Brock Purdy and these Niners. Now down by 2 scores, trying to keep themselves in this game. They got to score a touchdown, though, to be able to do that. McCaffrey gets the carry, but not a whole lot. 2nd and 7 yards to go. Purdy, pressured by Donald. It's out of bounds. Got it away as he was being taken down. You're seeing that our defense has not been good this year. It's been bottom 20 all year long. But today, we've shown up against a playmaking heavy offense. Ayuk breaks it outside. Has a 1st down. Gain of 13. Little dump off pass here for CMC, but not a whole lot doing here. These dump off passes aren't really working out. Neither is the ground game. Another one over the middle, caught by Ayuk. Brings up 3rd and short. Late handoff. McCaffrey finds a hole, breaks a tackle, and balls ahead for a first. And now it's Trent Williams shaking up on the play. Another give. They're feeding McCaffrey, and he's picking up steam now. But not sure the running game is what you want to focus on here with 6 minutes to go and down by 14. Can't really rely on that too much anymore. They're going to do it again. McCaffrey's got running room, and now he's hurt. They just keep taking off so much time off the clock. This carry for Eli Mitchell doesn't go anywhere. 3rd and 1 coming up. It's going to be hard to move the ball without any Christian McCaffreys out there. Mitchell, though, does find some running room outside. He's got the first down, but now there's only 5 minutes to go and counting. They aren't even going no huddle at all. They seem pretty content, taking their time moving the ball upfield. 1st and 10. Mitchell on the ground again, breaking a couple of tackles. He's brought down by Kel Witherspoon. Couple of guys in motion here. Trips top of your screen. Purdy dumps it off. Caught by Kittle. Tackled. Shy of the sticks. 3rd and 3. Purdy back to throw. He's pressured. Byron Young in pursuit. The pass is offline. Back of the end zone. That brings up 4th down. They have to go for this. They have to. They can't take a field goal. They got Mitchell in the backfield. Trips with Samuel, Ayuk, and Kittle. They're going to do a carry here, and Mitchell does get the first. Inside the 5. Under 3.5 to go. Purdy pressured again and sacked by Byron Young. There we go. He's back in the sack column. Huge one to bring him back by 14 yards. 2nd and goal. Purdy has to throw it away. Pressure from Michael Hoyt. 3rd and goal. Only 2 tries left. Purdy with Young in his face. Rifles a pass. And it's caught for a gain of 6. 4th and goal from the 13-yard line. They have to get a touchdown here, or they turn the ball over on downs. Purdy audibles. Gonna throw it. More pressure, and Young gets there again. 2 sacks for Young on the last drive of the game to put this game to sleep. The Rams are gonna come out on top. Clock runs out here at Levi Stadium as the Rams come out on top in the final game of Coach Leak's debut season. 27-13 over a very good Niners team. They will enter the playoffs on a loss. We ended on a win. Really fun game to end this year on. Gives you a lot to think about in regards to a couple of different players and the scheme overall on both sides of the ball. What a game. We passed the ball poorly in this game, but that really had no effect on the outcome. Only 97 yards for Bennett, 1 touchdown, no picks, no real pick-worthy plays too, which is nice. And we did a good job against Brock Purdy, only allowing a 55% completion percentage, sacking him 4 times, all of which came, I think, in the 4th quarter. 3 of those were Byron Young. The other one was Michael Hoyt. Some of those were in garbage time, which I did not show their last drive, but I think two of those out of the 4 came on their last drive of the game, but we picked them off in the 1st quarter. 204 on the ground and 2 scores for Robinson. It was absolutely amazing. I thought Kyron Williams played just as good. I mean 7.6 per carry for either guy. They were pretty much the exact same player, and they broke a lot of tackles. They were both fantastic. Both teams really had a good day on the ground, but we just had more chances. Receiving-wise, Cooper Kupp led all receivers, dropping 62 and a touchdown. Their leader was Samuel with 49. Then, for our defense, we had those 2.5 sacks for Young, 1.5 for Hoyt. 3 tackles for loss in total for Young, and we had the pick early on from Duke Shelley. Maher was perfect. It was a great win, and here are the stats from the season overall. So comparing Matthew Stafford and Bennett's numbers, I think you can easily see that even though Bennett's yards per game says 81.7, I think that's because they're counting all the games this year, not just the ones where he actually played or was the starter. They say he played 15 games. I mean, that's if you count him being the guy holding the kicks. But can't really tell the yards per game for Bennett. But for Stafford, 177.4. That might also include the ones where he's also being a snap holder. So the yards per game won't actually matter. But the rating does. 77 for Stafford, 93 for Bennett. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. Yards per attempt, huge difference. Completion percentage is the exact same, but 13 touchdowns, 15 picks versus 11 and 6 for Bennett. I mean, he's better on both ends. He played less games than Stafford, threw almost as many touchdowns and less than half of the picks. Like, what more do you ask for from him? On the ground, Robinson averaged 75 yards per game, 4.6 a carry, 11.25 on the ground, 14 touchdowns. He could feasibly be your number one guy next year if you can't find a good, better first option. I mean, those numbers are starter level worthy. Now, running backs do tend to get worse as they age, especially once they hit, 27, 26, 28, right when that first contract ends. So we'll see if that keeps up. And Kyron Williams behind him only had 13 carries on the year because he was hurt for so much of it. But 4.6 as his average per carry. I think these two guys could be a really good duo going into next season. And probably not going to end up bringing Henderson back unless he wants a really cheap deal. But the run game picked up when those two guys were out there. Cooper Kupp was absolutely amazing. 13, 22, and 11 scores after, playing 13 of the 17 games. We'll see if that leads the league. But Nakua and Jefferson both had over 800 yards and 4 scores. Nakua is going to be the number 2 next year, most likely. Higbee only 351, so I think I feel good about not bringing him back because he wasn't that involved at all, and it's not like he missed any playing time, really. He played in 16 of our 18 games, so those numbers should be about in the 800s for a good tight end. But it just wasn't, and he had no touchdowns either, so I think I feel good about not giving him that 4-year deal. For sacks, Aaron Donald, 17 this season, 14 for Byron Young. I can't wait for Young to blossom again, because I think next year he's going to have another good year of growth. Because I'm probably going to make him another focus player for the second year in a row. We only had 3 picks as our top metric, but had 3 picks from Durant, Fuller, and John Johnson. All 3 of whom will be returning to our team. Tackles for loss, 26 for Donald, 14 for Young, 10 for Michael Hoyt. Probably our top 3 defenders the entire year, and they're all edge players. So, there's that. In terms of deflections, though, Ernest Jones had 8. Durant, Fuller, and Johnson all had 5. And for forced fumbles, we only forced 3 fumbles all year long. Looks like Shelley, Donald, and Byron Young did that. And we only recovered 1 fumble, and that was by Aaron Donald. Kicking-wise, Brett Maher was terrible. 15 for 22. Yeah, no, he's not going to be coming back anytime soon. Punting, average of 48.6. I mean, that's good, right? I think that's pretty good. In terms of the entire league, though, looks like Mahomes led all quarterbacks in yards with 4,375. Leader in touchdowns was also Mahomes with 40 by a wide margin. And then the pick leader was Anthony Richardson in his rookie year, throwing 31 picks. Followed by 22 for Baker, 21 for Desmond Ridder, 19 for Sam Howell. A lot of picks thrown this season. Matthew Stafford at 15, which is the same as Mac Jones and other guys who played most of the season. Come on, man. Gotta be better. On the ground, Saquon Barkley had an absolutely stellar season and was by far the best running back. Just below 1,800 yards, over 112 per game. He was also the touchdown leader with 20, followed by Pacheco, who had 18 over in Kansas City. And the fumble leaders were Nick Chubb, Bijan Robinson, and Dobbins, all with 3. And receiving-wise, Cooper Kupp, despite missing 4 games, leads the league in yards with 1,322, over 101 per game. And in terms of touchdowns, it's Travis Kelce and Odell Beckham tied with 15 for the top spot. Cooper Kupp tied for 3rd. Jeffrey Simmons is your top sack producer, dropping 22 this year, followed by Micah Parsons with 20, Aaron Donald with 17, and then Byron Young with 14. We had 2 of the top 4 pass rushers. This could be a new special duo, but can we find the other guy to come in once Donald retires? That's a big part of keeping this defense going, is the pass rush. So great to see a rookie like Byron Young absolutely come out swinging. 14 sacks in his first year, top 5 in the league. And sacks, you can't ask for much more. In terms of the picks, Jimmy Ward had 7 to lead the league by himself, followed by Fred Warner, J.C. Horn, Tremaine Edmonds, and Jalen Johnson, who all had 6. And by the way, in terms of our offensive line, who allowed the most sacks? Looks like it was Brian Allen with 6, then Avila, but it looks like Nopum actually played pretty damn well this year. Played 15 games, only had 5 sacks allowed, 3 for Havenstein. We actually had some really good protection throughout the entire season. So maybe the offensive line is not as bad as I thought, because we have definitely improved as the year has gone on. I think we have a pretty good base now for what this offensive line should look like, but I still think I want to get a better center. I think that your center should not be allowing more than 4 or 5 sacks, and he allowed 6. Avila, I think, is pretty standard, and the tackle numbers are definitely lower than I would have thought. So, yeah, we'll try and keep most of the offensive line around. We already have re-signed most of those guys, but we'll see what happens going forward. But now let's dive into the prospects. We're going to end the episode with this, because, well, actually, let's do one more thing before we do this. I'm not going to advance, but I want to see if the Bears played their game, because if they have, I want to see if we have the first overall pick or not. They have not played their game yet. Hopefully they win, because if they do win, then we still have the first overall pick. So we're pulling for a Bears dub here. Hopefully I can view the college players after we sim the week. But let's see what happens here. So we sim, and the Bears did win their game. We're going to have the first overall pick despite the win. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, man. 5-12 season. End the year on a positive note, and you still get the first overall pick. Life is good in LA going forward. Let's take a look at these prospects, folks. So, your top 5 projection as of right now is Harvey Green, Darius Richards, Lindsey Johnson, Jamie Cooper, Nathan Rice. Yet to see a mock draft update, but we'll see that once we can get there in the offseason. But here are the favorites. My top prospect is Darius Richards, who we talked about last episode. A catching, A man coverage, A zone, A press. This guy is the complete package, and he is a phenomenal athlete too. Good to great speed, great to elite agility, acceleration, and much, much more. This dude, like, you could easily take him first overall and not feel the least bit bad about it, because imagine this defense being even better with him out there. Because the defense on average this year was good in the pass rush. Otherwise, there were things to work on, and Richards is a huge piece, probably your best player in the secondary if you draft him without any more free agent signings. So Richards is my top player. I'm probably going to draft him most likely, but we will see. I'll probably draft him, but we do have George Johnson, the lone quarterback in this draft that is actually worth taking. B deep accuracy, A medium, A to B short, B under pressure, good spiral. Pressure does not phase him because he does not know it's there, which I don't like that. But apparently he avoids sacks by throwing the ball away, so those two kind of don't really line up that much. He plays well in and outside of the pocket. Really fast release. And he's a really good athlete. Great to elite throw power. Otherwise, nothing below solid. And, he's not going to break sacks or do any spin moves or stiff arms or juke anybody out, but he's got good play action. He's got good accuracies, good injury rating, high awareness, good under pressure. Throwing the run is at a good starting spot. And he can chuck people sometimes too. So he's a really solid quarterback option. But do you think you can get away with Stetson Bennett for another year or two and wait for maybe a better quarterback prospect? Who really knows? I don't really know. He's the only quarterback in this class. I'd feel better if there were other options to choose from. Then we got the left tackle, Martin Hunt, and we have talked about before as well. And we were projected in mock draft 2 to take him, but he's just a complete package in terms of the physical ratings. So no complaints there. The only real concern I have is the D pass block power, which at left tackle could be a real concern in terms of those power rushing guys at the right edge position. But otherwise, everything else looks really, really good, especially starting out as a rookie. Then at 4, we have Nathan Rice, and this guy is a really good pass rusher, but he is exclusively a speed rusher. He does not have any run-stopping ability, no power moves to work with, only finesse moves, but he's a phenomenal athlete, great to elite speed, good to great strength, and again, he's going to rely on those finesse moves. So if you go with him, you're going with kind of a one-trick pony. At 5, we have the other tackle, the right tackle, Harvey Green, who's got really good awareness. He's a great athlete, but not as good of an athlete as Mark Houghton is. But he's a much more well-rounded pass protector and run blocker as well. I think Houghton, has the edge in run blocking, but Harvey Green by far is better in pass protection with A pass block, finesse, and power, and just pass block overall. He's got A to B run block overall, B run block power, and C finesse. So the run block is also in a really good starting spot. And I've got no complaints about the ratings here, except for lead block being a C and injury being D to F. Those I have concerns about, which is why he's at 5 here and not, 3 where Mark Houghton is. Mike Blackburn here is one of my top linebackers, or the top linebacker, because this dude has C finesse moves, A power moves, and A to B blocks. So this guy is a total package. He gets you all 3 of the main things that a linebacker that's going to be playing as an edge should be doing. Run stopping, power rushing, speed rushing. Just putting together all 3 of those things. He's got A pursuit, A play rec. Those are fantastic. B awareness, good hip power, good impact blocking, good tackling. I don't care about the coverage because he won't be playing in coverage at all. This guy, if you want to go for a linebacker, he is the top option for sure. Then you've got right tackle Caleb Brown, A awareness, good impact blocking, good run blocker, really good athlete, great to elite in everything except for strength, where he's good to great. And he's not as good in pass protection except for the finesse part, but he's a really good run blocker. And the power on there needs a bit of work, but it's still in a really good starting place. But he does have the F injury, so that is a concern. Now we've got the other linebacker, Spencer Johnson, who I did use one of our scouting focus things on. And he also is not a one-trick pony. He can block shed and speed rush. The power moves are not going to be fixable, but good pursuit, play rec. He can man coverage if you want to put him out there to do that. Good tackling. Injuries a bit low, so that is also a concern, but good awareness. And he's a really top linebacker option here. Great athlete too. Then we've got Lindsey Johnson, who is my second rated corner. He's got A catching, B man coverage, A to C zone, and B press. So if you're looking for a corner later in the first round who's maybe not as good as Darius Richards is, this is the guy to get because he's got good to great speed. He's a really solid athlete, and he can also be another ball hawk kind of a corner. He can give you man and zone coverage on both ends. Needs a bit more work than Richards does in those areas, but overall, good stuff. And B press, I mean, there's no real big concerns here, and you can also kick return too. So, solid option here for Lindsey Johnson for like a mid-round draft pick. Then we've got Jerry Hall, who is a speed rusher, great athlete, great tool in everything except for agility and strength, where he's good to great. And he is a speed rusher, but can definitely work on the block shit with a C there. Power moves, don't know a whole lot about that. Probably going to be around a D or an F. We'll see about that. But one of the top speed rushers in the entire draft. So if you want to go that route, he's your guy. Another offensive lineman here in David Truman, who is another really solid lineman athlete, although the strength is only decent to solid. But A, impact blocking, A, lead block, really good injury rating, really high awareness, good run block finesse and run block, but low pass block and pass block power. Run block power needs work too, but good pass block finesse as well. So, there is some give and take here. You kind of sacrifice some pass blocking for the run blocking, but the pass blocking can definitely be fixed over a couple of seasons. We've got right linebacker here, Eric Hyde, who is a good athlete besides the acceleration, where he's got marginal to decent, which is a bit concerning. So he's not going to have a quick first step or anything off the line, but A hit power, A impact block, A pursuit, A to C injury rating, A to C tackling, A to C power moves, A to C finesse moves, A to C block sheds. So even if all three of those are C, you have a guy that can give you a little bit in every single area. So that's why he's on my board, because of that exact thing. The first safety on the board is Khalil Carrington, hybrid guy, 6'1", and another really good athlete, although the acceleration once again is kind of lacking here. But he's got A-man coverage as a safety, so you could move this guy to corner if you want, and he would still be a pretty solid option there. B block shit so he can help out in the run support game. B awareness, B hit power, B tackle, A to C pursuit, A to C catching. The injury rating's not very high. Play rec is high. I mean, zone coverage could be in a wide range, but if that is above a D, this guy is a really solid player and a guy that after a year or two of training could be a really quality starter. Then you got the first defensive tackle on here, and that's Kerry Burroughs. And this guy, kind of like the other linebackers that I was talking about, he's the first D tackle that really pops out because he's got B block shed, B finesse moves, B power moves. All three of them really good starting level. He can really be your all-encompassing defensive lineman, sort of like Aaron Donald is, because he's good in pass rush, he's good in run defense. He's good in all those areas, and this guy could be that option too. So definitely thinking about Kerry Burroughs here, because we need help at D tackle for sure. We got Quincy Basnight here at linebacker. Good athlete, A awareness, really good finesse moves, decent power moves, decent block shed moves, good pursuit, good impact block. Only concerns here are really the injury rating. But otherwise, I think you feel pretty decent, and the stamina is pretty low. But if you sign some depth, then having him out there for less snaps than usual, but maybe a bit of a higher motor, then that sounds fine to me. So another good option here for a mid to late first, second round draft pick. Then you got defensive tackle Ben Daniels, who not as good as Kerry Burroughs, but still gets you kind of a similar, archetype. B block, should B finesse moves. Not going to have as good power moves as Burroughs does, but a similar kind of a player here. Then you got safety Darrell Stevenson. We're seeing some lesser athletes here, but still a really good athlete overall compared to the rest of the entire draft class. A to C man coverage, C zone coverage. So those are both going to be in a really good starting spot. A to C stamina, C pursuit, C player rec, B block shed, A to C catching and finesse moves. I mean, this guy could also pass rush too, help out a little bit there. He could also step in as like a third down linebacker, as a pass coverage guy. So another good option. We've got Tracy Clayton here, another defensive tackle. This guy's got great to elite strength, good to great speed, and great acceleration too, with B awareness, play rec, block shed, A to C finesse moves, C power moves. So this guy as well, really solid player. And the only good receiver that I found that is going to go in the first couple of rounds is this guy right here, Jose Parks. And I really only looked at receivers that I thought would be a good fit for the team. I don't want to include any receivers or draft any receivers or sign anybody that's going to be the Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua kind of a player, or they're, kind of short, small, speedy. I want a guy that's going to be a playmaker that can make physical grabs. So even Kupp can do that. I want a taller guy at 6'4" that can bring down those high point 50-50 balls, and this guy can do it because he's got good to great strength, great to elite jumping, solid to good speed, great agility and change of direction, and he's got B catch and traffic, B spec catch, A catching. This guy can do a lot. He can also run block, A to B run block, A to B ball carrier vision, A to B break tackle, and stamina and carrying. When he gets the ball in his hands, he'll take care of it and he'll make big plays because he has a stiff arm too. So he's a strong player, and he's that, deep ball, 50-50, goal line fade, back of the end zone kind of a guy. So if you want to go that route, he's your man. There's also wide receiver Austin Thurston, who I forgot about him, to be honest with you. He's also here. Not as good of a player as Jose Parks, but similar stature, 6'3", 226. Great to elite strength, good to great speed. So he's faster, probably a better athlete actually than Jose Parks is. With A catch and traffic, A spec catch, good run blocker, really good stiff arm, stamina, break tackle, vision, awareness. Their route running needs a lot of work though. So that's the one concern with him, is that they're all a C, except for short, which is a D. So the route running here is horrible, but everything else, great physical player. I guess I forgot about a lot of players because you also got Trumaine Donald here. A catch and traffic, C catching, B deep route, C release, another playmaker at 6'4", 224. Good athlete, not as fast as the other two guys, but is a great jumper and has good strength. Another guy that's going to catch the balls in traffic, spec catching, making plays after making the catch. Better route runner than the other guy, so I think he's probably actually a better player than the previous receiver, Austin Thurston. So I might have to move Donald up a bit over Thurston. I did find a running back, Myles Brackett, in the 3rd and 4th round area as a power back. Found him with good to great speed, great to elite strength. Otherwise, not the best athlete in the world, but B ball carrier vision, A break tackle, B carrying, good stiff arm, good spin move. Otherwise, don't really know a whole lot, but solid starting level, I think. And I found one more who is actually probably going to be our 7th round pick if he is still there. He's probably going to be undrafted if we don't take him, but solid to good speed, great to elite strength, and similar player, similar ratings. I also found undrafted projected center here, Chuck Wagner, who is a phenomenal athlete at center. I mean, his lowest thing is jumping, which does not matter for him. It's solid to good. Everything else is really, really good. The strength was kind of a low too, but B awareness, A impact block, B injury. He's not going to offer a whole lot in the power department, but he could be a really decent backup depending on this guy. I might use a focus option on him to get more info because I want to see what those finesse ratings are first, but he could be a solid player for finesse blocking as a backup. Then back in the 1st round, you've got this guy, Alex Butler, who is another good athlete, although the strength is a bit low. A awareness, B run block, B pass block, A pass block finesse, A to C pass block power. Won't get you a whole lot of run blocking, but could be a good backup in terms of pass blocking. But if you're looking for this guy as a backup in the first or second round, probably not the best idea. Then you got middle linebacker Matt Schmidt, who we could really use. Well, we could use him or somebody else similar to him, as some depth, but around 3 to 4 projection, a really good athlete, fast, strong, quick, great awareness, decent man coverage, has some power moves, really good zone coverage, which is awesome, and B pursuits. So, really solid player here, only about 50% scouted, but could definitely use some more on him. And then we got Malcolm Izzo, who we know probably less about than the other guy, but another good athlete that's quick. He's got good coverage metrics too. The play rec is going to have good finesse and power moves for a middle linebacker. So another solid mid-round option here. And then last guy on the list, Desmond Starks, another middle linebacker, the 3rd or 4th round. So I'm probably going to take one of these guys in the 3rd round if they're there. But not as good of an athlete as the other two guys. But he's got B-man coverage, A zone coverage, probably pretty decent awareness, good pursuits, catching going to be at the very least a C, and B tackling. So all three of these guys I think are pretty solid options for at least better depth at middle linebacker. And those are who I have on our draft board right now. I haven't gone through every position all the way through, but I will do that between now and the offseason to get better prepared for the draft. But those are your top guys. Let me know in the comments who you think I should take in each round. We have, I think, all of our picks this year besides our 6th rounder because of the Cam Akers trade. Or no, we do have 2 of those, and we don't have our 7th round, I think. But we'll see what happens. We have the 1st overall pick, I think. We will confirm that next episode. But thanks, guys, for watching and for tuning in to year 1 of the rebuild. We still have a lot of work to do, and the first off season is coming your way next time around. So like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one in the off season. I'll see you guys there. Peace out.